Aloha and welcome to our EndNote 20 Basics workshop. My name is Melissa Kahiuhi, and I'm a librarian at the Johnny Burns School of Medicine Health Sciences Library at the University of Hawaii at Manoa. I'm not in any way affiliated with EndNote, but know that you can visit their website and YouTube channel, which are both linked here for more information. And if you're affiliated with the University of Hawaii at Manoa, then please visit the UH Manoa ITS website for more information on obtaining EndNote. So by the end of the session, you should be able to create a new EndNote library, add citations to it, organize your citations in the library, find and attach full text PDFs to your citations, and then finally use those citations in Microsoft Word using the Cite While You Write feature. So what is EndNote? It's a software, it's a citation or reference management software that allows you to collect and save citations through academic databases, also through its own search interface within EndNote for select databases such as PubMed, or you can actually create your own citations manually within it. This is good for items such as websites, conference posters, white papers, and reports that you might find elsewhere on the web. And so once you've populated your EndNote library with citations, you can then insert those citations to create in-text citations and bibliographies in your Microsoft Word documents. So one of the benefits to using a tool like EndNote is that you can choose from hundreds of different citation styles and also easily switch between those different styles. So the first step we're going to do is create a library. This is a basic overview of and some screenshots of what it looks like on a Mac computer, but I'm actually going to be demoing on a PC. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to navigate to my EndNote software. Okay. And so I have other libraries created already, but you might have a blank window that opens, and what you'll do next is just say File and New. So it's important, it's very, very important to make sure you save the EndNote library on a local drive, so somewhere on your computer. You do not want to save EndNote libraries to a cloud-based type of drive, like a Dropbox or iCloud or anything like that. So EndNote says that over time, these files are corrupted when stored in a cloud type of storage system. So save it to your desktop, to somewhere on your computer. So I'm going to call this CC test. And I'm saving mine, it's in my documents folder. Well, actually, I'll save it to the desktop for now. So save. Okay. So this is my new library. I'm going to close this old one. And I'm going to minimize this for just a second. So the next thing to note here is that EndNote is going to create two separate files for you. One of these is a data file, so it will end in .data, and the other one is going to end in a .enl. And both of these files need to be saved in the same place. So if you decide you want to share this library and you share it by emailing it to someone, you do need to send them both the data file and the actual library file. If you're using a Mac, then you should have an option to save it as a package here. So it's as you can see here on the slide. So then it would create a file that ends in .enlp if you save it as a package on a Mac. So next is initial setup for Find Full Text. You only need to do this step once after you've installed the EndNote product. but you shouldn't have to go in and do this again unless you install a new copy. So what we're going to do is grab two URLs, and these are what EndNote is going to use to authenticate you as a user with access to full text through the University of Hawaii at Manoa. So step-by-step instructions are here. Basically what we're going to do is we're going to our EndNote library, we're going to edit and then preferences, and we're looking for find full text. These are all of the preferences we can customize. So find full text, and then you probably have two blank URL paths right now. So the open URL path and the authenticate with URL, this is what we need to fill in. So on the slides, you can link directly, or you can copy and paste out of the slides. So you'll copy this first open URL path, paste it into the window or the box it matches. And then next, you're going to copy the URL and then paste it into this, the next box. And you'll hit apply and OK. So again, you only need to do this step once. This isn't something you have to do each time, but what it'll do is it'll help you find more PDFs, full text, than you would if you were just relying on open access. And okay, so next we'll look at the anatomy of EndNote. So just to give you, just orient you a little bit if you're a brand new user. And this is also EndNote 20. It's a new interface. They tend to update their interface every year or two. So this is the most recent version. And so this is from their documentation right now. It's also linked in the slides. But basically, the pane on the left-hand side, this is your groups panel. It'll show you default groups, but also groups that you create on your own. So you can choose to organize by a class, by a project, paper, what have you. So their example is filled in with different groups. You can also see where the find full text function, where it will confirm what it was able to find or not find. Groups that you might have shared by others, and then your online searches, that's where you would access that. So this, and there's a little more information here. So to initiate an online search, that is where you would click on one of those databases. So in the middle is our reference panel, and it shows the individual references that are stored in a list. So depending on the group you click in on the left, that's what you're going to see in this middle pane. And then at the top of this is an advanced search panel. So you can search within your library for citations you've already saved, or if you're in the online search interface, that's where you're going to search the different databases that EndNote can connect to, like PubMed. So on the far right-hand side, so this is the summary. So once you're clicked into an actual, so in this example, you can see this Arnett article is highlighted. So those are the details that we're going to see here on the right. And then know that all of this can be edited if you need to. So there's an edit tab, and then you can also attach files here or view any attachments you already have connected to the file. And then finally, on the far right-hand side, the bottom, is a preview panel, and this shows you what the citation will look like. So this is a nice feature of EndNote, something that other citation managers don't do. It shows you a preview of what the citation looks like. You can copy it and you can paste it into a document really quickly if you need to. Okay. So moving along, next we're going to talk about adding references to your EndNote library. And so remember, I said there are a few different ways we can do this. We can add from within EndNote doing that online search. We can add from an outside database, so Web of Science or Google Scholar, PubMed, And then you can also manually create your own references by hand. So keep in mind, when we're on the web, not everything has a downloadable citation file. So when you're in the database, you can typically download a citation file to get those formatted citations. But if you were on something like the CDC's website, World Health Organization, there isn't going to be a citation for you to save. You would have to create that manually yourself. So there's a way. So the first thing we'll look at is the online search within EndNote. And I'm going to go to the EndNote software. So right now, if I click, by default, Library of Congress, this List A, Lista, PubMed, Web of Science are shown here, but you could click on more to make more databases show up. For now, we're going to go to PubMed, and by default, it searches by author. There's a drop-down list. These are all of the different fields you can choose to search by. I think for me personally, if I need to do a comprehensive search, if I'm not quite sure what I'm looking for, I prefer to do my searching within the actual PubMed interface. But if I know exactly what I'm looking for, or I think if you're using EndNote to track author publications, then doing the online search within EndNote is great. So for right now, I'm going to search by author. So I'm going to type in this author. And PubMed best practice is to do a last name and a first initial. I'm going to hit search. And so it looks like I have 68 results. 25 of them are showing right now, so I could choose to retrieve all 68 if I wanted to, or I can just go and highlight the articles that I want to save, and I'm going to click on this plus button here next to it. So this will let me add the selected citations to my EndNote library. So this will save them. So now I had one reference here, and now I added 3, so I have 4 total. And then, like I said, you can choose to search by PMID, many other fields, and you can choose to combine different fields as well to let you get more specific. Okay. So there are some screenshots within the Google slide deck. Just a reminder. Oh, so you could also drag and drop if you wanted to. So here, if I had this group, I have a group folder already set up, I could choose to drag and drop it to a folder as well. Okay, so next we'll look at how to add citations from an outside database, but we'll look at PubMed. So I have a PubMed window open already. I'm going to go to this one. So I went to PubMed. I ran my search, and I have 41 results. And what I think using EndNote is best for when it comes to exporting out of the database is if you can do a bulk export. If you're familiar with a tool like a citation manager tool like Zotero already, you're probably familiar with their browser button that lets you save citations one by one. So EndNote has something a little somewhat similar now. It's called EndNote Click, and I'll mention that at the end of the presentation. But for right now, I do think what one of its strengths is that it can handle really large bulk uploads. So I'm going to take all 41 of these results. If I'm working on a systematic review and I want all of the results that come up in my search, and I want to save it in EndNote so that I can go and I can review them later. So EndNote is great for that. So I'm going to send to and citation manager. And so by default, the selection is all results on the page, but I want to take all results. All 41, I want to export them out at the same time. So all results and create file. So there's a couple different options now. PubMed has created a citation file, and what I need to do is I need to bring it into EndNote. Depending on your browser, you may be able to click on this file. I'm using Chrome. You may be able to click on the file, and then there could be an automatic upload to EndNote. So I'm going to try that right now. So it looks like it's working. So I clicked on my citation file, and it automatically uploaded into or imported into EndNote. If that doesn't happen for you, your other option is to do a file, import. You're going to choose file again, and then an import file window will open. You'll go to choose, and you're going to look for the PubMed file that was downloaded when we exported out of PubMed. And so it's probably going to be in a downloads folder, and it should end in this NVIB formatted file. So this is the file here. So I could click on this and I would hit open, and then it would be able to upload those for me. So you can, there's a manual as well as an automatic process depending on your browser. I'm going to cancel that. Okay. So screenshots for that, and then a note about the direct export. And then there's some more information for what it might look like if you were on a Mac versus a PC. Okay. So next, say we want to create some references manually. Again, directions are here, but we have an example that you can use if you'd like to follow along. I'm going to go ahead and open this. So this is an example from the CDC. This is something that I, if I look at this page, there isn't a way for me to download a citation file. So I'm going to go to References, and I'm going to New Reference. And let's see, I'm going to move my window over so I can look at things a little bit more side by side. Okay. So the first thing you'll need to do is it does default to journal type or journal article for the reference type, but you do need to switch this depending on the item that you have. So I could say I'm citing a data set. If I was looking at, a white paper, maybe it's a report. I'm going to stick with data set, and then, you basically just need to look at the item you have and then fill in what you can. So let's see, I could say maybe this is the CDC. What year is this from? It was published February 20th, even though it's a data set from 2017, 2018. I'm going to take this NHANES 2017, 2018. I'm going to put that as the title, and then I'm going to put 2020 as the year. So I could go through and I can fill in more of this information. I would probably also want to grab the URL and make sure that gets saved in here somewhere. So there's a URL field down here, and you can attach files if you need to as well. So these fields will change depending on the type, the reference type you have. And so setting that reference type is important because when it comes time to cite, the citation is going to be formatted based on the reference type you set. I'll hit save. Okay. And so here's the item, the reference I just created. Okay. So next we are going to organize our library using groups. So the first thing I'm going to do, there's the screenshots for the Macs. I'm going to go to groups. I'm going to create a group, and then I will name it accordingly. So group, I'm going to create a group, and then I had a couple different things going on here. So let's see, I had an author. I'm going to put my author citations in one. And then I'm also going to do, let's see, I had another group, and this was my my other search that I did, or my search that I did in PubMed. So from here, so if I click into this, they're empty right now because everything is nested under all references. So I basically need to go through and start sorting them into the groups that they belong in. So I am going to, let's do this. I'm guessing at this point. I actually prefer to, create groups as I go, rather than downloading or bringing in all the citations I want and then choosing to sort them into groups, but for the purpose of going through these different steps in training. That's why it's coming now. So let's see. The next one I'm going to do, take these. All right, and then I'm just going to get some more. Okay, so let's do that. All right, so we'll pretend I have these sorted the way they need to be sorted. But that's basically all you need to do. I could also right-click on my groups and create a group from here. And then I can create group sets if I'm working on multiple projects. So let's see, I could do, this is my, I'll just call it a test set. And then I could move citations around here if I need to keep them grouped into different projects. And then here are more directions for dragging and dropping. Okay, so next we'll look at finding, updating, and cleaning our citations. So for finding citations, there's a couple different ways. You might not be able to remember where every single citation is going to be. So I'm going to click into all references right now. So I have 46 items. This is all 46. And let's see. So I know that I had an article, Hishinuma. Okay, I didn't find it. Let's go to I typed in tele. So these are words that I know should have been showing up in some of the titles of my articles. So if I was looking for an article, I can access it through the search if I want to. I'm going to clear the search. So another way of looking through the citations you have in your library is to sort them. So right now it's sorted alphabetically A through Z. If I click on author, it will sort it in reverse. So you can do that with year, title, etc. And so next in the Google Doc slides, this is how to update your existing references. So you can command EndNote to look, it'll search back out to the databases to see if there are any changes, if a date was changed. So sometimes you may have imported from PubMed an EPUB ahead of print, so it was something that may have been put out early. It could have been a preprint version of the article, and then maybe in the meantime, time has passed and there's an update to the citation with the actual publisher's version. That's just one example. So I'm going to go to references. So first I need to highlight the references I want to check, and then I would go, so I can highlight multiple if I need to. I'll go to references and then find reference updates. So we'll let it search for one right now. And it looks like there's a couple different changes. So I can choose to update all fields, update empty fields. I'm going to just say update all fields and then hit OK. And then next, so PubMed's also really good at finding duplicates. It's not perfect. EndNote, it can help you find duplicates. So if you've say you're working on a systematic review and you've run the same search in a couple different databases, you've brought them into your EndNote library, you are guaranteed going to have at least a couple duplicates, so you can command EndNote to find those for you. So let's see, let's bring in a duplicate just to be sure. Let's see, I'm going to click on this. I'm going to save this. I'm going to save this one item again because I know it'll be duplicated then. Okay. So now I have 47 references. So right now I'm going to make sure I'm in all references, and so next we're going to find duplicates in our library. So EndNote is really useful for that. If you say you're doing a systematic review and you've run a search within multiple databases, you've imported all of those references into EndNote, there's a good chance you're going to have duplicates. So rather than go by hand through the list, you can command EndNote to search for those duplicates, and then you'll have an opportunity to review and choose what you save. So it's not perfect, but it definitely takes care of a lot of the work. So I'm in my EndNote library now. I know there should be at least one duplicate, so I'm in all references, and I'm going to go to library and find duplicates. Okay, so it did that fast. So it was able to find one duplicate, and I think what I'd want to do is review the items here, the information here, see what could be different. So right now, this journal and volume look like this journal, publisher, we have a couple different fields. Okay, so it looks like maybe, so one of these has the attachment, the other one doesn't. So this would be one of those cases where it looks like one of the citations was probably an EPUB ahead of print, so something that could have come out of a preprint server, and then the other item is the one that came from the actual journal. So maybe for the, I might decide to just keep the one that I have up, and I have attached the PDF to, and then maybe make some edits in the meantime. So be sure to just review the information that you have here in order to make the right choice. So for now, I'll go ahead and I'll keep that record. And so there's some information, and there's the screenshot there for you to decide which one you keep. Okay. So next, we're going to look at sharing groups. Okay. So next, we'll talk about EndNote and how it handles PDFs. So that find full text function. So this is really, really useful so that, again, it's not something that's going to be perfect, but it does take care of a lot of the work. So I'm in one of my group folders. I'm going to look at just these 4 for now. So I've highlighted 4 of these citations, and I am going to look for, let's see, I'm going to do my little paper with a magnifying glass icon. So this find full text icon. Okay, so when we put in those URLs earlier, that was to get this function to work so that we can authenticate through the university. So I am going to log in. Okay. So on my left-hand pane, there's find full text, and there's my little confirmation here that it is searching. So I just have to wait. So it's going to give me confirmation for what it could find or not find. So it looks like it couldn't find 2 so far. It found a URL. So these are the 2 that it found URLs for. So I can click on that. The other thing I'm going to do, so here's This is a citation I brought in just a little bit earlier. So I'm going to try this one. Let's see. When I did my find duplicate function, I chose to get rid of the one that had the attachment, so that was the preprint. And so now I've chosen to, I kept the citation that came from the journal, and then EndNote was able to attach a copy of the PDF to it. So there's the little confirmation here that paperclip is now visible, so I know I have an attachment there. And then on the left or on the right hand side, I can open my PDF. There it is. Okay. So one of the things I do like EndNote a lot is for its ability, how it handles PDFs. So there's functions here to annotate PDFs. You can leave notes, you can highlight things. So let me just go down here. Maybe I will, oh, there we go. Okay, I didn't press my little save icon. So there's the save icon, save changes. So you do have to make sure you click into one of these functions to highlight, cross things out. You can leave notes and then hit the save button. So EndNote also has an iPad app that I really prefer for working with PDFs. Okay, so finally now we're at our Cite While You Write phase. So how to use EndNote in order to work with or to generate citations in Microsoft Word. So I have a document open, and then instructions for what this is going to look like. So depending on your version of Word, this could vary. I'm going to go to Microsoft Word now. So I have something I'd like to cite here. So I'm going to go ahead. So the first thing is wherever the cursor goes, that is where the citation will be inserted. And then also anything that you want to cite needs to already be saved in that EndNote library. So I'm going to take this first sentence, and then I'm in Microsoft Word. I have EndNote 20 in my toolbar, and I'm going to go to Insert Citation. So for this one, this is the author's last name that I would like to cite. Here it is, and Insert. So there is a numbered citation formatted right now, but I can change this citation style to anything I have listed here. I'll switch it to APA. So now it's reformatted it to author date. If there's a style, a different style, it's not listed here, I can go to select another style, and then I can choose from a list of other styles. So APA, I need the 7th. So the 6th is the old one. I'm going to hit OK. APA 7th, and there we go. So I could go through. I know I want to put that same citation here. So I'm going to insert, and I'm going to hit insert again. So I would go through my document, I'd add my citations, and then at the end of this document, at the end of my document, I have a place for references, and I am going to, I can go through my document, I can continue to add citations. I'm going to insert, I'm going to look for another author, and insert. And so if I go and I look, I'm going to scroll down now. So what EndNote will do as I insert citations is it's going to automatically start formatting my bibliography. So, and it's going to put this at the end of the document. So wherever it senses there's no more text underneath. So the end of the text you have in your document. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to switch the style again just so you can see how quickly it changes. So I changed it to a numbered style there. So you can do a lot of other advanced things with the with EndNote in terms of formatting your citations. You can create your own citation styles if you need to. I can add page numbers if I need to. So that's under Edit and Manage Citations, and then page numbers. So a lot of things you can do with this. All right, so we talked about the EndNote basic part already, but I guess I want to talk about it again really quickly in terms of if you're somebody who, if you're, say, you are going to be using the EndNote desktop, you're going to collaborate with another author or someone else on a project, and you need them to also use EndNote, but they don't want to make the purchase. So they don't need to. They don't need to buy the full version of the software. What they could do is they can use the EndNote basic account. So it's web-based, it's free, it stores fewer citations, but I mean, overall, if you're going to be using it for one project, you're probably not going to hit a limit. If you are using the EndNote basic account to complement your online or your actual desktop account, you can sync between the two accounts, and you can still import citations to the online account. You can still insert citations using this Cite While You Write. So for example, if you're somebody who uses both the EndNote desktop and the EndNote online account, I can toggle in between those two accounts if I needed to. So preferences and then application. So this is where you would choose which account you're working off of. Cancel. And then again, this is what it looks like. I've got a live version of that window here as well. So the nice thing, I do like the EndNote online account. It has a couple functions that I can't do as easily with the software. So there's, let me go back, it changed. So there's a match function here, and what that means is, I haven't decided which journal, or I'm unsure which journal I should be publishing in. I can go to match, and I can choose this match manuscript option. So it looks like I think they've changed this a little bit, so I have to log in order to do that. But I could put in my abstract, my title, what references I've cited, and then it'll work to match me to a journal that they think is a fit. Okay. So in summary, it's definitely worth it in the long run to use something like EndNote. You can take advantage of their help team also. So because this is a proprietary product, they have a really great help desk. So you can go back to, I have it linked within the slides, how to contact EndNote. So if you're using, I believe, Firefox and Chrome, you have that direct export option. And so I encourage you to contact us if you have questions. If you're from the University of Hawaii Manoa and you've got questions about EndNote, please let us know how we can help. So here is some more information, and my information as well. Thank you.